It's Madden NFL 23.
And the question is, are you ready for some football?
It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings.
Coming up next.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And some room to run now. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's another first down, and that'll be a gain of 21 yards.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
59 yards rushing for it as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Cook. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. But Charles, clearly they wanted to send a message there and impose their will. They score on their opening possession on a drive comprised entirely of rushing the football.
Message sent. I don't know that the team on the other side of the field wanted to receive it, but what a statement on their opening drive. Just run it all the way downfield, no passes. That absolutely sets the tone that they're going to be physical in this game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Well, the Falcons now get to stretch their wings on offense here, and at quarterback for them is a former 2nd overall pick who spent 4 seasons as a starter in Tennessee, Marcus Mariota. Now the rookie 5th-round pick. This is Tyler Algier. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a man open down the middle of the field. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we have with the coach.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown! Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Anthony Frisker, the intended target. And it's second down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Kaderl Hodge has it complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A first down throw for Mariota. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incomplete.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
Well, that's what you want to do, partners. Help the other team with our avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Tyler Algier and the rest of this offense making their return to the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
From the 30 on second down, Mariota. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Mariota on first down. And complete to Drake London. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Second quarter now, Falcon football. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mariota. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mariota again. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Mariota. Oh, had his hands hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On fourth down, Mariota is off, and on comes Atlanta's Younghoe Koo. And that will line up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this will stay a 3-touchdown game. And listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They're all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Cook. And he's got room. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 21-yard line. 138 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away, but this one might be over by halftime.
And since you already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Falcons offense set to go. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys...
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Room here to run. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Vikings.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Yeah, here now come the Falcons. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Here comes Rager. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And some room to work. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Joseph on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Atlanta regains possession of the football. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
But he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mariota. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Mariota. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And some room to maneuver. And now off to the races. Down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 76 yards. And the Vikings will
certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Falcons now are going to go on offense late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Final play of the half here, Mariota. And his throw is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Falcons. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Throwing, Mariota. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, wasn't it? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there. And there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 42 yards. And the Vikings take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Mariota now to throw on first down. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To the air again, Mariota. He put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. There he goes, right side, and they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You're talking about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
To throw again on second down, Mariota. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And this returnable for Rager. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Vikings are going to have it now, 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of have this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Up the middle, it's Cook. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Again, it's Cook. And some space here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 40 yards. And the Vikings continue to pour it on here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 21. Here's Mariota. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Throwing again on second down. Mariota. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cook again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So he had a nice run to get him down there. He was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points.
And now here's another interception. Tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles,